Hello, my name is Pavel. I want to show you a game I have been working on for some time. I am working on it by myself, from design, programming, testing, to graphics and even promotion, which I am doing right now. Oh, you see, I don't even have anyone to disinfect my apartment. Where did he go? No. Okay, so I was saying... So... never mind, this is my disinfector. Go, kitchen, go. Go, kitchen. Alright, this is getting ridiculous. Let's get back to the game. The game is called Cosmic Lords. It is set in the future, where three rival human factions compete for resources from various space objects. But they soon discover that the real enemy is out there. The game begins with a story outlining the technological, scientific and political developments on Earth from the 21st to the 22nd century, during which the game is set. Then there is a brief description of all the factions, followed by the selection of one to join. Let's choose Democratic Union. After that, the main game screen appears, where everything important is located. In the equipment section, you select your active ship and equip it with robots and items. For testing purposes, I currently have all the equipment here. You can also view the description and properties of individual robots and items. The robots themselves have their own equipment. This robot is used for testing. It is powerful and has many weapons. It is currently in another ship, so we will transfer it to the active ship. And of course, in the equipment section, you can also upgrade existing equipment or craft new items. As for missions, most of them are limited in number. For example, when you discover an enemy base on an asteroid, you can attack it and capture the asteroid. On this asteroid, you will then find some underground area on an abandoned factory which you can explore. A few missions are unlimited. Currently Arena, Survival and Team Capture, which serve as minigames. These are available in both single-player and multiplayer modes. Entering these missions will cost in-game money, and you can earn various items here: robots, equipment, resources or blueprints for a new robot or item that you will then be able to craft. Alright, let's play a mission. For example, planetary defense. My robot is one of the defenders on the walls, and we need to repel the enemy attack. We have 2 turrets. Oh, not anymore. They are breaking the walls. Let's do this, Leroy! Okay, I'm dead. As for the game's monetization, I don't want to have ads or paid access to the game. It will be free to play, and the only place it will fund development is the shop section. There, you will be able to buy and sell items for real money, but also for in-game resources. This is the basic concept of the game, which is not finished yet. That's why I launched this campaign. The game engine is mostly done, but everything needs to be tied together into a chronological and logical whole to make it a complete game. Furthermore, contents such as terrain objects, robots, weapons and other items need to be added and their properties set. Sound effects are also missing. And of course, I would like to create a multiplayer mode as well. I could end the video here with a request for your support. But I would like to show you some things I have spent a lot of time on, which I think are interesting. You may have noticed the displayed FPS and GPU threads on the screen. That's for me and serves an informational purpose. The truth is, there are a lot of mathematical calculations in every frame. It's essentially applied mathematics. I know many people imagine applied mathematics as something like this. But it can be a little more complicated than that. The entire terrain, or background, isn't a texture, as it usually is in games. Here, the terrain is randomly generated pixel by pixel. But it's fast because it's parallelized on the GPU. The pixel-based terrain allows me to do things like lights and shadows, robot tracks, mostly tank tracks, craters and burn marks. If the game is not running fast enough, it is possible to adjust various graphical details. For this reason, it is also possible to set 2D or 3D objects. Let's take a look at the lighting and shadow system. I spent a lot of time on this, but the result is worth it. First, I had to derive the equation for the light on a given pixel. To my surprise, the equation turned out to be very simple. Oh, sorry, that's not the one. I use this one when deciding what to cook for dinner. Here's the correct one. It's essentially a weighted average of two neighboring pixels that are closer to the light source, where the light source is a square, a full pixel, not just a point, as is usually used. Even though there is a dependency on the previous pixels, and it looks like the pixels have to be calculated sequentially, I was able to parallelize it on the GPU, and the whole process runs fast enough. Here is a short demonstration of what my lighting system can do. Adjustable sector angle, radius, center and edge color, and several other settings. Okay, let's set back the white color. For objects, I can set their height to block more or less light. For example, I can create a rainbow light like this. Most of the videos I will be showing are sped up by 2 to 4 times. Another thing that took me a lot of time is the terrain editor, which gradually became an animation editor as well. Since I don't have any graphics designers and graphics is time consuming, creating the editor seemed like a more time efficient solution. The editor can generate terrain and animations based on specified criteria, which can also be random. The editor does not directly create mission maps, as those are generated randomly, but it helps in finding the criteria by which these missions and their terrain are generated. Let's take a look at it. Here are the basic functions of the editor. Setting the color and variety of the terrain. Of course, I can do something more interesting. That's what the pattern is for. Let's make some tiles that can be used for flooring or a wall. We will generate random tiles and then adjust them. These are fine. Let's change a few properties. And we are done. Let's play around with the lerp pattern now. One more example of using the pattern. Let's create rusty plates. And it's done. To speed up the search for an interesting pattern, there is the separated fields function, which creates a unique pattern in each field that can be edited. Let's add a few possible patterns and randomly generate them. By changing the pixel size, we can see how the patterns will look with different levels of graphical detail. Another thing is to test the frequency and distribution of generated terrain objects based on their spawn frequency property. We can also adjust the field size and graphical detail, allowing a larger map to fit onto the base texture. Additionally, it's possible to set the density of generated walls. This allows us to find the optimal ratio between walls and corridors for a specific mission. To prevent shooting or seeing through walls diagonally, surface walls are generated in missions. Given the capabilities that the terrain editor already had, it occurred to me that it wouldn't be too difficult to add the option to create animations as well. Animations can be created manually in the same way we created terrain. To speed things up, I added an option to generate a random animation, which can, of course, be freely modified afterwards. The result is saved to a file, including transparency, alpha channel, so it can be used as an animation. The main point of the animation editor is into first and last or more keyframes with interpolation between them. Each of these keyframes can be edited. Colors, sizes and angles of shapes can all be changed. To save time, I will create a random animation and just quickly show the basic features. Let's choose a nice animation. Okay, let's go with this one. We can decide whether the animation will loop, whether it will have a transparent start, or we can change the graphical detail. We can even regenerate one of the keyframes. Or manually adjust its properties, including the color of a single object in that frame. Here is the final animation, saved as a PNG. Okay, these were the main things I wanted to show. If you are interested in the project, I would appreciate it if you could consider supporting it. I would like to raise enough funds to finish this game and hire a few more people to speed up development. You can support the project not only financially, but also by sharing this campaign. If you know someone who might be interested, please share it with them. To all of you who watched the video until this point, thank you so much for your time. This video is so long that my hair grew out in the meantime.